Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a company valuation expert in St. Louis, Missouri. I have the privilege today of discussing strategic planning and how to sell a business today with Jennifer Smith, a business broker in Cape Girardeau, Missouri with Murphy Business. What does it cost to get a business broker involved in a deal? And you had kind of said somewhere on big deals, it could be as low as 2% of the sale price,
right?
Or it could be as high as 10 to 12% of the sale price. But that requires a conversation with the person that's going to help you sell the company, right? Like there is no magic number that we can put out there. It really is on each individual basis how that business broker works, right?
That's exactly right.
So tell us a little bit about yours, but also about the concept of working as the buyer and seller's representative. I think that that's an interesting concept.
Yeah. So the cost, it needs to be reasonable, right? You can't expect a business broker to take too big of a chunk of the deal. At the end of the day, the seller has to pay off any debt. They have to pay their business broker, and they've got to pay taxes, right? And there has to be a sufficient motivation left by the time you subtract those three things to sell the company, right? So, a business broker is going to charge the market rate for the type and size of company that he or she is selling. And so, that's important to know that until that valuation is done, until they really understand the company, they just can't set the commission rate for that. But for a bigger company, it's going to be maybe 2, 3, 5%. For a smaller company, it's going to be maybe 10 or 12%. You may or may not have a small retainer up front, depending on how much work is going to go into the packaging.
And at the beginning, you said something that I thought was very important, is that you're doing kind of a tax analysis at the beginning. So you're saying, here's what we could sell you for. Okay, let's say you sell for this price and you pay off your debt and you pay my fee and you pay taxes. What do you have left? And so you're having all that discussion at the very beginning, right?
That's right. Because it's not what you sell for, it's what you walk away with.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And, there are some strategies that we can put into place that if a seller is particularly sensitive to the tax ramifications, there are strategies that we can put in place that are going to minimize that tax impact and keep you in a lower tax bracket. But those are all conversations that we need to have up front so that we set those expectations, because the last thing I want to do is to go through all the work, get to the offer, run the numbers, and realize that that we have a great buyer on the line and the seller's not willing to sell for what they can get out of it. Right? We need to set those expectations up front, for sure.
Well, and I think that then going into it, they're not kind of mystified by this huge number. They're really saying, okay, all of these things need to go into play before that happens. Before you go down a deal, because that really, now I will say there has at least been an occasion that I have sent a business owner to you to say, can we sell the business? Can we not sell the business? Do we have enough revenue? Do we have enough income? And your answer to that was, at the time for that particular business, it wasn't the right time. It wasn't they weren't going to get the money that they thought they would, that they really needed to work on a few things. And so I think that that's very important to know that there are times when this isn't the right time. And you're more than willing to tell people that up front, that if you expect to get $1 million and I maybe could eke out 200,000, this isn't the right time. Now, a business owner could say, well, it's better than nothing, right? But that better than nothing attitude probably still isn't the right framework.